same tools that we have today in which to break down the language. So when the King James Version was produced, the translator used cockatrice in their translation into Hebrew. There is no such thing as a cockatrice. There's no such thing. So Marva says she want to know what it is.
So the word means interpreted.
It's a mythical creature that never existed. It's a myth. It was a myth. So the closest thing they could come with is that it was a part rooster,
yeah,
and a two-legged dragon.
Come on, I don't even want to see that.
That's what a cockatrice is. But it was never real. It was a serpent that was produced from a cock's egg or a chicken egg. That's what it was. Now, how is a serpent going to come from a chicken egg? So why do they use the word? They use that word because it was the closest thing that they could get to the original translation. So basically, what it is a serpent. It's a serpent or a snake. They didn't have a sufficient knowledge of biology at that time to come up with what it really was. So they didn't know what the Hebrew word meant, so they used the English word, and the word that they used was totally inappropriate for this. That's why you have to look in the different translations. You got to get you a Hebrew Greek lexicon, so where you can get the correct translation into what the word is. And a lot of your people who are in school, a lot of your ministers and elders and missionaries, they use the Hebrew and Greek lexicon so that we can deliver an accurate scripture. That's why I had to go into this so you know what it was. Amen. Now, so the modern translation would be viper, or be an adder and a poisonous snake, to translate this word correctly. So what it is saying is that they had snake's eggs and then weave spider webs, and he that eateth this egg, they would die. Don't you know there are certain eggs that you would eat that if you ate them, you will physically die? Amen. You can't just go around munching on something because you think it's an egg cracker and put it in the skillet. Some of those eggs still have the poison that's in the egg that will kill you. And that which is crushed is talking about when it is hatched, it hatches into a viper. There are people that will come into your life that will lay eggs in your life and sit around and wait for them to hatch. And if they don't hatch, if you get hungry, and I'm talking about in the spiritual sense, amen, if you get hungry, you will munch on something that you ain't got no business eating on, and you'll wind up dying. Amen. 59:6, their webs shall not become garments, neither shall they cover themselves with their works. Why? Because their works are works of iniquity. In other words, iniquity, self-indulgence. And the act of violence is in their hands. You got to keep yourself away from folks sometimes that try to do things to themselves that have iniquitous behavior. Because of their iniquitous behavior, they can have violence or have things come down upon you, and you won't even realize where your private hell is coming from. But it's because somebody is setting up conspiring things against you as a result of the separation from God. The Bible says that what fellowship have light with darkness. Don't you know that somebody is separated from God? You ain't got no business dealing with unless you're trying to lead them back.
That's right, that's right, that's
to
right.
God.
Come on, walk
Listen, 59:7. Their feet run to evil. That's why your feet got to be shod with the gospel of peace.
Yes, right. Yes.
So that they will be running to God.
Yes.
Or running to do the will of God. But in this case, their feet run to evil. We're talking about separation from God. And they make haste to shed innocent blood.
Yes.
Their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity. There we go with that word. See, Man, I tell you, Isaiah's in there because what he's doing right now, he's just reading right down the list. No wonder why folks didn't like it. And I'm going to tell you, if you stay on the side of right, stay side of truth, and you speak, they're not going to like you either.
A lot of people, I know you're right.
Wasting and destruction are in their path. You ain't got no good thing to come to you when you are separated from God. When you are away from God, no good thing will ever come to you. The way of peace they know not. Because who is the Prince of Peace? Who's the Prince of Peace? Jesus Christ is the Prince of Peace. And if you don't know Jesus Christ, then you have no peace. This is why you got violence and everything running in the street, because they don't know Jesus. And we have to be the ones to introduce them to Jesus.
That's right. Come on here.
That's why I was out here. I was looking at what they were doing on yesterday when I was with Pastor Hodges and I was with Pastor Brooks. I was looking at what they were doing, and these young people were just playing around each other. They didn't even really know each other, but they were playing around each other. They were eating, they were laughing, they were talking. It was a situation that was people riding on horses. I'm like, horses on King Drive? I'm like, okay. Horses. On the same street that if you go one block up, I can't count how many people were killed in Parkway Gardens.
Oh boy, yeah.
But they're right there on that block. So sometimes we got to put our differences to the side to try to achieve the common good.
That's right.
And forget whether your church is this church and your church is that church and everything. You got to get together to look at the common, to achieve the common good. And put your differences to the side. And there's no judgment. We're still 59 and 8 in their going. They have made them crooked paths where whosoever goeth therein shall not know peace. You will not be able to find any peace nowhere, no how, or anywhere when you are separated from God. You cannot be comfortable in yourself when you are separated from God. You have got to get yourself back into the point where you have a right relationship and a right standing with God. It's not how much money you got. No, it ain't about that. It's not about what you driving or what you riding or whether you're walking or running or whatever or what kind of clothes you got. Right. God looking on the heart, but man looking on the outside.
That's right.
The fact that I got on a backward collar right now, I only got it on because it's first Sunday, but if y'all really knew me, I don't like wearing these things because I'm sitting up here, I'm hot. I'm hot even in the wintertime with this thing on. My wife knows. That's why you don't see me. But it don't matter. You can have this thing on in your heart be full of perversion and whatever if you had this on. Isaiah 59, this book, it talks about a culture and a nation that is in collapse. It was messed up. So what the writer was trying to say was that you are in a perverse situation where because you have turned your back on God, you have separated yourself, and that's where we are today. Our cities are messed up. Our neighborhoods are messed up. Our schools are messed up.
Yes, it is.
The White House.
Messed up.
Uh-oh. So y'all helping me preach now. President Trump, you heard him. I didn't say it. They did. But you messed up.
Yes.
Anybody that don't know God, that don't have a respect for God, you're in a situation where you are messed up. Now, it looks like everything is all right because what happened here, it took place about 120 years before King Nebuchadnezzar came through and took over Judah. So when he was preaching, they were looking at Isaiah like, man, he don't know what he's talking about. We doing good. They still held themselves together as a nation, but what the chapter did, it gave insight about what was going on inside of them as a result of self-centered leadership that was producing and getting progressively worse on a day-to-day basis. Notice I said the word self-centered. Self-centered leadership that's thinking about what they're doing and not so much concerned about God is doing. So in these 8 verses, what Isaiah did, he went straight down the list of all of their immoral activities.
Yes, yes.
And if we ain't careful, we'll find ourselves into that too.
That's true.
This is a report from God where he used Isaiah to list these things. He sees all the chaos that was coming through as a result of the sin that Israel brought on itself. And everybody that was living in Judah at that time suffered as a result of what they were doing, what each neighbor was doing. So God used Isaiah like a prosecuting attorney would go through to present their case. When a prosecuting attorney presents their case, they begin to lay down all of the things that that person is being accused of.
All the facts. Come on here.
Amen. All the facts. That's right. They lay out all the facts. So Isaiah was being factual in his case, and he was being accurate in what he was talking about. And I'm going to tell you something. When you be accurate about something, folks don't like it when you tell the truth.
True. They really don't.
They don't like it. They can't stand you when you lay them out there like that.
That's right.
Now, after reading such a damnable, condemning report, one can wonder if these people were going to turn their heart back to God. It would think like only a handful of people really obeyed God.
That's true. That's true.
And then you got to look for it. You can't even find it. It's a shame when you go to church and you go to church and you can't even find the ones that really love God.
Come on here. That is true. You can't tell the one.
You looking around, you saying, man, all them into something. That person did this. That person slept with that person. That person, you better hold your purse. Better keep your purse close by. I know some churches where you had to keep your purse close by. You had to let it out of eyesight. Marvin said, "You for real." You look for your purse, either your purse was gone or everything that's in it was gone. You shouldn't have to go to church and go hugging your purse.
That's right.
Or you shouldn't have to go to church and you got a pistol either on you or one in your purse or a butcher knife.
That's what I'm talking
because
about.
you got folks that's in the church that's so perverted and so messed up that you don't know you have to fight your way out the door when you leave the church.
That's messed up.
No different than what it is in the street. So it's a wonder that you only got a few people that actually obey God.
That's true.
In a situation like that. It seems like that in the United States. Who is really obeying God? Who's really listening to God?
Come on here. That's right. That's right.
Who's really doing the book?
That's right.
We can confidently judge from news reports that we hear that the quality of life in our country is quickly approaching the same condition. How many of y'all saw the news this morning where we had the worst weekend in years?
And young folks.
And they were young adults or young children.
That's right.
You wonder if we're in the same condition. We are indeed suffering. We're suffering from the same chaotic mess and immorality that surrounds us. And many are truly appealing to God for God to bring all this to a merciful end. We prayed and we fasted about the situation, but God is still not hearing us. That's what it seems like. Go back into 59 and 1. What did it say in 59 and 1? What did it say?
Behold, the Lord's hand is not shortened, that it cannot save, neither is ear heavy that he cannot hear.
Yes, he cannot hear. It seems like when we pray, God is not answering our prayer. That God is not hearing our prayer.
Gotta humble ourselves.
We fasting.
Yes,
Father, we humbling ourselves too, but we still not getting an answer.
That's right. That's right.
Y'all gonna see what I'm getting at in a minute.
Yes.
God did not react. There was no reaction from him. It was like he was not even there. He provided no answer. He effected no changes. He did not raise up righteous and shepherds. He did not send the man of God to give the word after the prayer was even being met, or to provide God's guidance and to give us peace. It seemed as if he not even heard what we were saying. And that he hadn't heard what Israel was saying. In one. That's in one. Or if he heard, he didn't have enough time or strength to do anything about it. God, can you imagine God didn't have enough time or not have enough strength to bring the agonies of his life to him? Why? Why? Let me tell you why.
Separate ourselves from it.
This is a surprise. The very people that was appealing to God to end the crisis in their communities were guilty of doing the same sin that were responsible for identifying the crisis.
My Lord.
Don't you know if you are praying about something that God cannot move, if you're guilty of the same sin of what you're praying for? They got a song that says you better check yourself before you wreck yourself. Before you go to God, the word of God says, who shall ascend into the holy place? Who shall ascend? Who shall go there? What did God say? He who has what? Clean hands.
That's right.
And a pure heart. You got to clean yourself up. You got to go to God and clean yourself up and ask him for forgiveness before, and for your own iniquity and your own secret sin, before you can go out talking about praying for somebody else. Lord, deliver us from them.
That's true.
That's the case here.
You're right. That's the truth.
Despite crying out to God about what was going on in the nation, they did not cry to God to repent for the own sins that they were doing. Man, that's in our Sunday school lesson today. That was in our Sunday school lesson talking about that, about judging folks, about being, you're righteous and you're self-righteous and your self-righteous attitude, you're trying to pray for somebody, but you're not repenting for what you did.
That's it.
In the meantime, God is waiting for somebody to be truly sincere and come before him and have a substantial change in order to be led by the people crying out to God to repent for themselves. He wants us to begin to obey his word and restore justice in all they're doing. That's why I say this. I say this all the time. And I'm going to continue saying it until I die. Is that if we are obedient as a people to God, then God will bless us and reward us for our faithfulness to him.
That's right.
You can't quit. I'm in here every Sunday.
Yes.
Every Sunday. We have our Bible study. I'm going to come here until God say different or until he shut the door.
Yes.
I don't do it because I'm the pastor. I do it because God gave me a calling and put it on my heart to do it, so I have to be obedient.
Yes, right.
I'm not trying to shut myself out and separate myself from him.
Yes.
To cut myself off, and I implore you to do the same.
That's right. Amen.
I implore you to do the same. Because when you're obedient to God, God will not withhold himself from you.
Yes.
Ain't no need of talking about changing when you got to be the change.
All right.
You can't be the change unless you have been before the Lord, which all he got to change you before he can change anything else.
That's right.
I thank God for those of you who are obedient to God.
Yes, Lord. Yes. Thank you, Father God. Thank you.
The reason why our country is in a precarious state, is in a precarious state, is because our leaders, now they pray. I know that I might hear about this. I know that I don't care if I hear about it, because this is God dealing with me. We had some of our brothers that was with Trump. Me and my wife know about half of them that was with Trump in the White House this week. They had their gold chains on. I'm talking about you, Billy Bob. I know you wasn't there. Got his gold chains on too. Billy Bob, not a bishop. He looked like one, but we had bishops sitting up there, Brother Tom. And all of them sitting up there, and they want to dialogue about this and that. And I'm not knocking what they were doing, you know, I'm not doing that. But our situation is getting worse in the United States.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But until they repent.
My Lord. My Lord.
Until you repent.
Yes, right.
Of what you did against God, you cannot expect change to happen in the White House.
Right, that's
Clean
right.
your backyard up
right.
before you
Tell
get
it.
mad.
You can't, it ain't gonna happen. I don't care how many presidents come forward. But until you repent and go before God and get outside of your self-righteous, self-indulgent behavior, and I'm not saying all of them up there like that. I'm not judging you, but I'm telling you what God is saying. That's why things ain't changing. Because we're so diverse in the religious community, when we can't come together and go before God and lay out there and stretch ourselves before Him and ask God to forgive us of our sins and our iniquities and everything else that we have done.
That's right.
And then you want to go to the White House and you still messed up and you talk about you represent your people, you better go before God yourself.
Lay out, baby.
Before God. Yep.
If you want to change.
That's right.
They understand, they know to some degree where the present morality can lead, but because they fear what is coming and they're suffering to some degree of the misery, it's due to the nation, that's due to the nation's spiritual decline. They are probably praying about those things. But it doesn't do you any good to pray about those things if you are separated from God because of your own iniquity and your own secret sin. Don't do no good. When prayers go wrong and things happen, how many times do we blame God for something that happens in our life? How many times have you blamed God for something? We do it. We blame God for when bad things happen sometimes. There can be several reasons, but when you blame God, don't you know that you are causing the delay to come on yourself?
I cannot blame Him.
The Lord's hand is not short that it cannot save. God is still saving. The problem is not on the upper side, but God is able because His hand is not short. He's still saving. It's surely that if God created the world and He formed the dust of the earth, that He's able to make a few minor adjustments or some major adjustments for that matter. You think that God is not here? You think that God has lost all of His power? One of the keys is that Abraham was fully persuaded.
Yes.
Tell you what I'm talking about. Y'all like Romans. I think somebody said they like Romans.
Yeah, Romans my book.
Romans 4th chapter, 21st verse. You can write it down. And being fully persuaded that what He had promised, He was able also to perform. Abraham, one thing about Abraham was certain that God would do that which He promised to do. 4th chapter, 21st verse. He was fully persuaded. The word fully means that there was no doubt in his mind, that he had faith in God, that God would do whatever He said that He would do.
Come on here, Papa.
And because he was fully persuaded, there was no doubt. So he kept himself in God's hand because he was obedient and faithful to Him. Paul was confident in God's ability. He knew that God was able. For I know who? 2 Timothy 2:12. For the which cause I also suffer these things. Nevertheless, I am not ashamed. See, some folks are ashamed of me.
Yes.
To be saved.
Yes.
When they get at work, they act a different way.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
When they leave out the church and they go home, they act a different way. Be yourself. Really, Bob, that's why I love you so much. Because you knew what you was when you came up in here. But look at you now.
Yes.
How you like me now?
Yes.
Mama, same thing.
Yeah.
You got to be real.
Real.
God appreciates realness. You come to God just the way you are and let Him change you. When you come to Him and you be real with Him, that's what God wants.
That's real.
The church ain't made to be full of folks that's everybody in there righteous. Everybody in the church is righteous and saying, what do you have in church?
That's right. That's right. That's right.
We on a mission. We trying to go to heaven. So everybody that come in, everybody can't be all right. You got to have some messed up folks up in there.
I know that's right, Pastor.
I know sometimes I'm showing up messed up. Gotta have something. But you gotta be real. Because what God can do, God can clean you up and fix you up and use you according to His will. So Paul was confident in God's ability to do that. He says, for which cause I also suffer these things. Nevertheless, I'm not ashamed. If you weren't ashamed of what you were doing when you was out there acting a total jerk or a total, you up there acting a total. Well, I know whom I have believed, and I am persuaded that He is able to keep that which I have committed unto Him. That is, what did you commit to God? What did you give to God? Huh? You know what you did? What you committed to God? What you gave? You gave God your life.
That's right.
You committed to God your life. You gave Him your soul. And when you gave Him your soul, you're no longer separated from Him. You are one that's with Him. And when you commit your soul and your life to God, it's against that to that day. What day are you talking about? Until you die. You know that He's going to keep you. You got another one. Now unto Him who is able
to keep you from falling.
Y'all think that's what it is? Y'all think that's what it is? Y'all trying to help me preach. That must be ready to go home. Y'all trying to help me preach. Ephesians 3 and 30. That's one too. But that's one. Because He keeps you from falling if you stay with Him.
That's right.
Now unto Him that is able to do exceedingly, abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. When you do that and you become committed, you come back to Him. Now we're going back to 59 and 1. Now you want to hear you. He's able to do exceedingly, abundantly, and above all that you can ask or even think about. According to what? According to what? The power that worketh in you. Amen. And when you said us, Mama, that talks about us collectively as a group. So now that you got yourself back into right standing with God and the power is in you, now some things can begin to happen. Now you can begin to move your block, your neighborhood, your nation, because the power is working in us collectively as a whole. And working in you. When you're separated from God, you have no power.
That's right.
You have no authority. You don't have nothing.
That's right.
That was in the lesson too. Vanity. When you see the word vanity in Isaiah the 59th chapter, whenever you see the word vanity in the Bible, that's another word for saying nothing.
Yes.
Nothing. This is nothing. How you look is nothing. How much money you have. And I know it sounds crazy, but that's nothing.
That's right.
Y'all should have heard the lesson today from a preacher that was talking, I think it was Charles Stanley, that was saying that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof and all that dwell in it, which means that everything in the world belongs to Him. So what you really have when you look at yourself is what? Nothing.
That's right.
Because if He take your life from you,
that's right.
What you got?
Nothing.
You got nothing. Sometimes when prayers are not answered, we think, oh God, maybe that's too much to ask. Amen. Or God can, now it's not too much because God can save us and deliver us from any crisis.
Yes, He can.
Or maybe God doesn't hear us. Maybe He's not listening. He's not listening today. Maybe He's asleep.